Hello everybody, this is Erin Brown and I am a Close to My Heart consultant. Today I wanted to show you how I made this card with the kind of a watercolor background. I've been playing in my scrap room and I thought I'd show you how I did this. Let me tell you some of the things that you're going to need to do this, or the things that I use to put this together. You're going to need a craft heater if you're impatient like me to speed up the drying process. We're going to use watercolor paper, and so it will dry on its own. I'm just pretty impatient, so I use a craft heater. I'm going to use dye-based inks or water-based inks, and I've got olive, sunset, chocolate, and thistle. I've got some gold sequins for embellishments. I'm using two different stamp sets today. This is the Pathfinding Card Making Workshop stamp, and I'm going to use this sentiment here. I have got, this one is called Lifetime of Happiness, and this is the flowers that I'm going to use to make the card. You're going to need water in a spray bottle. This just happens to be one of Close to My Heart's spray pens, but any kind of spray bottle will work. This is a paintbrush, and you just need one with a kind of a soft, like a mop type brush on the end. And then, of course, watercolor paper. And you can pick up any kind of watercolor paper that will work. You can get it at Walmart. It's not anything fancy. This is cold press, and doesn't say what weight it is. Oh, it's 140 pound weight. So anything will work. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's my sheet of watercolor paper, and then this is the card base that I'm going to use. And to get started, I am going to stamp some flowers on the watercolor paper, just randomly, like so. And you can kind of see that there's some texture to it, and that's perfectly fine. That is from the watercolor paper itself. Add some of these little ones in there. And then we use some sunset and add some of these other flowers to it. That looks pretty good. Close these. That is the olive green, and I'm going to use a stamp set. This leaf, and it's a little bit different from the one on my sample card, but gives us a little bit of variety. Kind of go around and add some leaves in the blank spots here. Some on the side there. And let's add one more right in here. That looks pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to actually spray water right on top of this, and I just am using this so that it doesn't soak into my scrap papers down there. So you can spray it on, it's just water, but this, so it soaks into the paper. You can spray this as much or as little as you want. I kind of start light, and then you can always come back and add it. And then what I do is I use the brush the paintbrush just to kind of move the water around and kind of blend it to give it that watercolor look or softness. And I can see that right up here at this area, I want to add just a little bit more water. Get the spraying in the right way. Just like that. And kind of blend it in there. So that is basically it on the technique. The next thing that you want to do is you can let this dry, air dry, and it's perfectly fine, or you can hit it with the craft heater and dry it in a few seconds. It won't take very long. I'm not going to dry this one so that you don't have to listen to the craft heater on the video, but I do have one that I already have ready here that I already did. And so this one is all dry, you can see. So, and it turns out really good and gives it a lovely soft effect. So I'm going to move this wet mat out of the way. And then I'm going to use just chocolate ink. And when it's dry, this, you don't have a problem with this dye ink stamping on it again. So I'm going to do this my way. It's going to be upside down for y'all, but it'll be okay. I'm going to use the sentiment on there that says thankful for you. And there we go. The next thing I'm going to do is attach it. This is just a piece of craft cardstock, and I have created a card base with it. And I'm just going to use regular adhesive. And for the watercolor paper, I normally use a tiny bit more adhesive than I normally do, just because it's a little heavier and it has been wet. So it curls just a tad, but it won't once I get it stuck on there like that. And then of course I'm going to use some of these gorgeous gold sequins and add them to the center of a few of these flowers, just like that. One more over here, and maybe one more right there. And then the last thing I would do is probably just, I tied some ribbon on the top of this, not ribbon, hemp on the top of this one. So I'll do that, but you probably don't want to watch me do that on camera. So anyways, that's it. Super simple technique. Give it a try. Show me what you've made. Try it out with different color combinations and see what you get. I appreciate you watching and have a great day.